Hello, everyone. It is Sunday, and it's another edition of Travel the World as a Speaker. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be on here very long because I am losing a voice and I am exhausted. I don't know why, but I'm exhausted. I did get this vaccine thing, so maybe that's like finally kicking in. But woo, am I tired? Which is appropriate for today's show because we're going to talk about why is it hard to stay focused. So appropriate. Who knew that I knew what was going to happen? So we're going to talk about why is it so hard to stay focused. And I'm really going to talk about some of the challenges when it comes to trying to find and get more speaking gigs. Growing a business is all kind of the same thing, but you have this big target on your wall, that is traveling the world. And sometimes it feels like one is not meeting the requirements of the other. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Unfortunately, I don't think I necessarily have a travel story for you because I have been exhausted. The only thing I can say is, luckily, I've been blessed. I have not been majorly sick when I have traveled. I've only had one instance where I traveled. It was my first all-inclusive, eating at the buffet. I actually think I got that norovirus thing. It wasn't fun. I'm not a huge fan of the buffet life. Buffet life, it sounds kind of germy and gross. Seriously, it does. But when you're there and you see all the food, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to eat. So we'll see if I ever do buffet life again. But luckily to this point, I have not been extremely sick when I've traveled. And thank goodness, because, it sucks being sick at home. Can you imagine being sick while you're on the road? Now, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time and you have no idea what you're watching, I am Phylecia Jones, the lead researcher and founder of iFind You Clothes. I do this little show every day at 7 p.m. Eastern during the week and at 12 p.m. Eastern on the weekends. And I talk about the two things that I love, and that is travel and speaking, and how you can start leveraging speaking so that you can travel. I've been fortunate enough to be able to speak in some amazing places while I've been marketing my business and growing my business. And the business that I have is iFind You Clothes. We actually go out and research speaking opportunities for people who are looking to travel the world, market their business on stage, or grow their brand. You can go check us out at ifindyouclothes.com. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic, and that is, why is it so hard to stay focused? Because this is not sexy. I was trying to find the right words. Growing a business, looking for speaking gigs, pitching speaking gigs, trying to travel while leveraging something is not overly sexy. And that's why it is hard to stay focused. And I see it so often because people are really excited in the beginning. And then there's this mismatch of, wow, this is a lot of work. And then I think I need to focus on some other things. And that's what will always happen to you. It will always happen. And and I know you see, we're on the internet, you are watching people on Instagram and they're telling you stay focused, and you're like, that's some motivational blah, blah, blah. But even though it's motivational blah, 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 it kind of is true. You're going to have to focus so hard that it hurts. That's the thing about all of this, is that you're going to have some next level focus in order for you to get what you want. And it's really hard to explain. And some people need the goal, like, what, I'm going to travel to all these places, I'm going to make it happen. Or some people have the financial goals. Some people have the credibility goals. You're going to have to really figure out what those goals are. And if it's not helping you stay focused, then your goals, they probably aren't good enough. And I don't know what good or bad goals are, but your goals just aren't enough to keep you focused on what it is that you want to achieve. And sometimes it's not so much that the goals are too easy. It's just, I've always seen, people like, put goals that'll stretch you, but sometimes you still need a little bit of motivation inside of you to even achieve it, because I can put up some goals and be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to go sit on the sofa and eat. But that's the thing you're going to have to realize with all of this is it's going to be hard. That's the thing. I wish it was easy. Even when people sign up for iFind You Clothes, they were like, is there a way to make this easier? I wish it was. Honestly, I wish it was. For all the people who are professional speakers, meaning they only make money through speaking, They're not sending out 10, 15, 20 leads a week. They're sending up to 500 because they want it so bad. They also know this is the only way they're going to make money. So you got to look at it that way. Also, even with me, even with the membership site that I have, is not so much that I can keep creating content, is I have to generate leads. And that's what it is even for speaking. You have to generate leads. And sometimes there is no magic pill to generating the leads. So that's why it's so hard to stay focused, because sometimes this work, it ain't sexy. You're going to look like this most days. I wish it was every day I put makeup on and put on the high heels, which I don't do now. I wish it was like that, but most days it is, all right, I'm going to sit down and figure out what I need to do to grind to keep going. And the only thing I can tell you is, one, look at your goals. Maybe your goals are too extreme that it doesn't motivate you. And that's why I do like little small goals of, I'm going to pitch 5 gigs this week. That's it. Sometimes that's all you need. It's just that little bit of momentum to keep going. So that's why I always say start off with baby steps. You don't have to go and try to solve all the world's problems in 1 week. It's a whole bunch of problems. Just solve half of one. Solve half of one, and then just kind of get the momentum so that you can stay focused. Also, put in time to take a break. If you are like me, now, if you're like me, you're going to have to schedule in moments of, I need a moment to sit and be still. I know some people, they can do this every day for 15 hours and never get tired. And I do know some people that do this every day for 15 hours for years. And they were like, this is me. This is how I'm driven. I'm not like that. I know me. I can go hard for about 3 months and then I need a break. And if you know yourself that you need a break, schedule it in. If it's every quarter, you go so hard, and then for 2 weeks, it's like, you know what? I'm going to sit on the sofa and Netflix and chill. That's what you need to do, because not all of us are programmed to go at it from 0 through to 100 and stay at 100 for years and years and years. I know me, and I've had to, schedule these things in that I know I'm going to work really, really hard for 3 months. And then I'm going to go celebrate by doing nothing for 2 weeks. Because after 2 weeks, you're going to be like, okay, this is good enough. Let's get back to it. Schedule that in so that you don't burn yourself out, because burnout is a real thing. And that's another thing that happens when when it's so hard to focus. You're going so hard, you get burnt out. You don't even want to return back to what you're doing. So take the time to schedule all that in. Look at your goals, make them achievable. That's one thing. Make your goals achievable. Schedule in the time. If you know that you can work hard for 30 days and you need a week to take a break, schedule it in and just make it happen. And when you do sit down and focus, you know what? Try to make it as easy as possible. Don't force yourself to sit in front of a computer for 10 hours. It doesn't work that way. Do what you can, but stay on track. All right. And then for a while, get rid of other distractions. The thing when we're trying to do with speaking, and I know it's going to be hard for some of us, but I do try to tell people, when you decide that speaking is going to be a thing for you, a lot of us don't realize how much work it's going to take. So if you're trying to launch a course, launch a new business, launch into speaking, launch coaching, launch training at the same time, it is going to be hard to stay focused. I always tell people, do one thing at a time for 90 days or at least 6 months. Just do one thing. And I know in the entrepreneurial world, it's like, I want to do all the things, but do one thing and get good at it. Then you can keep adding all the things. Most of the time, this is a race of turtles. If you are old enough to understand the tortoise and the hare, business really is, and a successful and good business really is a race of turtles. Everybody's just kind of moving along, making, little bits of success steps and being good at it versus running, because you can run and be successful, but the problem is you don't know how to sustain it. So I would say, I understand that it's hard to focus. Take a few of these steps incorporate them into your world. See if that helps. Otherwise, it may be time to just sit down and take a break. And what we don't want to recognize all the time is that we are burnt out. Sometimes burnout is a real thing. And we're coming off of a year that has been very stressful. And we're trying to catch up with all the things that we should have been doing last year. Give yourself grace. At the end of the day, always give yourself grace. Um, yeah, and don't be so hard on yourself. Whew, that's a hard one right there. All right, that's all I have. I'm going to go sit on the sofa, do some work, and kind of relax and not be so tired and see if I can get my voice back for the rest of the week. So take care of yourselves. If you got any questions or comments, put them in the comment box. But I'll be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, because I'm 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Take care of yourself.